Welcome to The Rest Between Sets, a podcast about health, wellness, and the real lives behind the workouts. I'm Rebecca, a physical therapist and a strength coach who has had some really good conversations with athletes while they're resting between their sets. I've gotten some really good life advice, and so every week I sit down with members of our gym and our community to talk about what it really takes to be strong in the gym and in life. Today's podcast guest is Damian, who is just an amazing person with an incredible journey. He started working out with us several months ago, about a year out from surgery on a brain tumor, and his journey's been nothing short of incredible. All right. Hey, Damian, how are you?
Good.
How was your workout that you just had?
It was really good. My legs feel like Jell-O, but that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, there's been definitely a lot of legs this week, for sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Can you introduce yourself and share a little bit about yourself? You've had a really interesting fitness journey, so.
Yeah. So I'm Damian Joseph. I'm actually from Charleston.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I left for 15 years. I lived in DC, New York, Chicago, and I'm in international public relations. So traveled around the world a lot. And a few years ago, I just really wanted to come home and be back by Folly Beach again. So I'm here. But I was lucky that I did, because I think what we're mostly going to talk about today is I got diagnosed with a brain tumor 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then early last year, I had brain surgery. So it was non-cancerous. It wasn't going to kill me, but it was going to wreak havoc, and it was already wreaking havoc. I was losing hearing in one ear. I had really hard, I had balance issues for a few years that they couldn't really figure out what was wrong.
Where was the tumor, in your...
It's called an acoustic neuroma.
Right.
Which is, there's a little tunnel it's on the side of your brain, and it houses your hearing nerve, the cochlear, your balance nerve, the vestibular nerve, and your facial nerve. I can't remember what that one's called, but they're all right next to each other and really close. So the tumor was growing on the balance nerve, but pushing into my face and ear nerves. So it was starting to mess with my face, and I was starting to lose hearing in one ear. So it needed to come out. But then as a result of this surgery, so I'd lost hearing when I came out of surgery. It was like a 30% chance they could save it, but it didn't work. But I had to relearn how to walk, right? Because that balance nerve got damaged, and nerves are very slow to heal.
That's right.
So it's still a year and a half later. I'm still recovering, actually, and still have a bit to go, I think. But I had to relearn how to walk coming out of the surgery. So I went to California for this, where they have a clinic specifically for this in San Diego. But it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to walk on my own. I was walking with a strap around me before that, and people holding me. Yeah. The gate belt, around my chest. And then I came home to Charleston and just started recovery. So I did 6 months at MUSC, which was walking, turning my head, turning, walking backwards, walking on uneven surfaces.
Yeah, and you worked with Dr. English, right? Rebecca English?
Yes, yes.
Who's awesome.
Is amazing.
Yeah,
she's...
Great vestibular PT.
Yeah, and actually it's a good time to say that the whole experience taught me to rely on other people. And without my wife, who is the love of my life, I wouldn't have gotten through any of this.
Oh.
From diagnosis to surgery to recovery, I don't know how I would have gotten through it without her. So honestly, I feel like she even deserves more credit than me.
Absolutely. Well, I only met her the one time. She was awesome.
Yeah. She's a saint. But yeah, so I worked with Rebecca down at MUSC for about 6 months, and then she suggested I come see you because of your background with physical therapy and being a trainer. And I was very into fitness before all of this happened. And,
talk about your previous fitness level a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I played sports in high school, and then, beat myself up in my 20s, which all of us guys seem to do. And then around 28, I was I don't feel very good. So I got back in the gym and was in the gym for 10, 12 years, something like that, 5 days a week. And then yoga on the 6th day or long runs. When I moved back to Charleston, I was running on Folly couple times a week, doing 6-7 miles out in the sand out there, and loving it, like really grueling workouts. And it was really hard to go from that to nothing in a day. I remember the day before surgery, I went to the gym in the hotel to work out because I was like, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
And it went to just nothing. It went to like, okay, now sitting up is a challenge. So that was tough. But yeah, so then I got here after the 6 months downtown, and we just started with like just trying to get me moving again, because like every old injury felt like it came back. My balance was really bad. So I mean, we were like walking on straight lines, stepping up on things, just trying to do like light weights and just get moving again. And it was really hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard. We were doing that twice a week, or sometimes 3 times. And then...
and you're also doing a lot at home too.
Yeah, doing a lot at home. And then in June, I graduated to the group classes.
Yeah.
And
hottest time of the year.
I didn't actually realize how used to the heat I was from running out on the beach until I didn't do it for a long time. And then all of a sudden it became grueling, because I'm a southerner, and actually like anything under 80 degrees to me feels cold.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, I was like, oh, I see why people are complaining about the heat, because it can be pretty grueling if you're not used to it.
Absolutely.
But it was amazing, because the first week where I did the group classes, I felt like a part of me wake up again.
That's awesome.
And I mean that literally. I don't mean that like spiritually or psychologically. I mean physically, I felt more awake. I felt like $1,000,000. Like I hadn't had those endorphins and all the good chemicals in so long.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled. And then I went too hard, and it backfired. And then the last, it's been 3 months working out with the group, and it's been like up and down. But I love it. And I love connecting and meeting with everyone and feeling the community vibes, and it's fantastic. I just look forward to it, every night and every morning. There are some mornings where on the way I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this today, but I always get through it. So
you come like 4 or 5 times a week, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you stay and stretch afterwards too, so that's great.
Yeah, got to. I always say, I actually tell people that I work with, or like colleagues or people we've hired or just anyone I meet, like you have to take care of your health.
Absolutely.
Because no one's going to do it for you, ever. No one's going to be like, hey, you look like you could use a stretch or a workout or some sleep. It's just never going to happen. And so we all have to be selfish in that way. You just got to draw a line and say, I got to work out, I got to stretch, I got to do my thing first, and then the rest of the world can come after that.
Yeah.
And it's never let me down, because I think my fitness level going into that kind of brain surgery actually helped a lot.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was actually going to be my next question is, do you think being so fit prior to your surgery helped you with the recovery process? I do, because I distinctly remember the first time I needed to try stairs again, which was when I got home to Charleston, that the instinct of the Stairmaster from all those years like kicked in, and my muscles knew, even if my balance was bad and my, I had like vertigo, all the time, my legs knew like which muscles to lock into place to get me up the stairs, or I actually, through the whole period, I only fell once, which was pretty amazing, because like falls are a real issue after something this. And it was because I tripped on something. But there were so many almost falls, and I think the level of fitness actually, like my legs would get underneath me, or I could hold on to something and pull myself up. Also, I think like how if my fitness level went so far negative, like below what it used to be, I can't imagine starting from a lower point. And then I know that there's some term you probably know as a therapist, but it's like people that are fit or had muscles can bounce back quicker. That's why like professional athletes can take a few months off, and it's not like they lose everything. So I think it's much easier to maintain than it is to gain.
Yeah, there's some kind of muscle memory there that kicks in for you, and just makes it easier to get going again. And there's like a support group for people who have had this, which it's really not my bag, honestly. Like I don't really like commiserating or talking about this. Is probably the first time I've really talked about it openly, because I'm at a point now where it doesn't feel devastating.
Yeah.
For me, it was getting back in the gym is what started doing it for me, and just like not having special treatment, just just wanting to like work through it myself and dig it out and grind. But I have read the message boards and the support groups, and a lot of other people have said too that they think their fitness level going into it helped them a lot, and they were really grateful that like they have built up their core or built up their stamina. I think too, one of the biggest benefits of really hard exercise, particularly running, I find it the most, is you flex that muscle, that mental muscle that says you can endure something, like even when you think you can't. And when you're in that, I mean, you run marathons, so 6 or 7 miles for you is like you're just getting warmed up.
Well, but season.
But for me, like that 6th or 7th mile on the beach, like in the sand and the wind and stuff, would just be grueling. And every time you would get through it, it was flexing that muscle of like, I can do this, I can endure. My body can do more than my brain thinks it can.
Yeah.
And I felt that kick in so many times just dealing with like recovery, whether it's physical or mental, of like just endure, just keep going, or even like tough business meetings. I actually feel that reflex kick in of like just grit, breathe, bear it, and it'll be over, and you'll come out the other side of it. So
what you're saying is that when you physically exercise, you're obviously working your muscles and everything, but you're also working your mind and your brain.
Yeah.
And your spirit a little bit too.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, I think exercise is the foundation of everything, honestly. It's what we're built to move.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the spiritual benefits, the mental benefits are equal. I don't want to say they're more important, but
they all feed into each other.
It's
too,
equal.
So.
It all goes together. Yeah, and it goes with like confidence and self-esteem and being able to wear like your cool clothes and not feel like embarrassed, I guess, when you go out. And there's a lot to it, but one of the main benefits I think for me is the that endurance muscle in my brain.
I love that.
For sure. The resilience or grit, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Resilience is absolutely like a key component of that.
And discipline. Discipline's big. There's a few people that I really look up to in terms of like hearing the discipline message in my head. Like John Joseph is like a hero of mine. He was in hardcore punk bands like in the 80s and had this really hard life, but they call him like vegan Iron Man now. He's in his 60s.
I think I've heard of him actually, maybe.
Yeah. He's an Irish guy like me, but he's like in his 60s, who looks like he's like in his early 40s, which is testament.
And The Karate Kid too, right?
My favorite movie ever. Yes.
He has a lot of grit, resilience.
Yeah, but positive mental attitude and discipline. I struggle with positive mental attitude, and I have my whole life for sure. That's something I always have to work on. But I definitely in the morning wake up and I hear some of those voices saying like discipline, like get up, just like start moving, like put the clothes on, break it down to one step at a time if you have to. Just put your workout clothes on. Okay, now just get to the car. But that discipline muscle and instinct kicks in over time too. So like I had to do so many rehab exercises at home, like looking at popsicle sticks and moving my head, or trying to stand on one foot or close my eyes and take a step. And that stuff makes you miserable and exhausted.
Yeah.
Like exhaustion's actually probably been the worst side effect of everything. It's just like unbelievable fatigue because the brain just drains like a phone battery and there's nothing you can do about it. Specifically, or like when you lose a sense, like a hearing like I did in one side, your whole brain has to rearrange around your senses. And so much of your brain is about your senses in your body. But then relearning balance, and then nerves are regrowing. So every day it has to like recalibrate. It's just, it's been draining and exhausting. And I never took naps in my life, and now I have to take one every single day. So, yeah, but don't get me started on the Karate Kid, because I'll talk about that for hours.
I know you will.
It'll be grueling for you. You'll have to flex your endurance muscle.
Well, let me ask you this. Can you talk a little bit more about like the emotional and the mental side of the recovery? Because I know there's like a lot of times where like things felt really discouraging, like progress wasn't happening as fast as you wanted it to. How did you overcome that?
Yeah, I think you expect recovery to be tough. And you know that there's going to be that up and down nature of it, you know, that squiggly line, but over time it gets better. But it would be frustrating to pull a muscle, you know, because you hadn't moved that way in a while, and you just really want to make progress that day, and it's like, ugh, now I have to stop for the day because I'm in pain, you know, or like I've had a few chronic injuries that I just haven't been able to get on top of. They're getting better, but things that never bugged me in my life, like I never had injuries like that or chronic pain or anything. So that can be frustrating, and then I think just not being able to do what you used to be able to do is a really weird feeling. And I know older people struggle with that, particularly when people become like elderly, like it can be really frustrating for them. And I've gotten a bit of a preview of that. So there's this thing called the Four Agreements that's ancient Toltec wisdom, which is, these are like people before the Aztecs and Mayans, like it goes way back. And two of them are do the best you can, and or two wrapped in one is do the best you can, but the best you can isn't the same every day. It's just the best you can for that day. You know, and I was just thinking about that, like as long as I do the best I can do for this day, like that's enough. And then you just keep doing that over and over and over, and things always change in life. They always get better, you know, we're just different. So you just hold on for that because you know at some point it's going to be better. Again, discipline. I think focusing on discipline is more important than focusing on results, because the results come if you're disciplined.
That absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely true. And I remember from when we worked one-on-one, some really big things too that helped emotionally and just as like tangible goals was running on the beach and playing music.
Yes.
And you got back to playing music pretty quickly, it seems like.
Yeah, guitar saved my life, along with my wife. Like when I was younger, I played in bands and was more successful than average doing that, you know? Not like famous or anything, but more successful than most people can be. Like I was a professional. And I let that go at some point to start a career. But I never stopped playing music with people. And in fact, when I moved back to Charleston, I re-engaged with people I knew like in my teens and 20s. And, you know, we started playing music, and we did a big benefit concert for the Low Country Land Trust, which is a conservation group that I had joined the board of for a bit. And I played like a concert there, you know, and we raised like all this money. And it was the week after I got diagnosed, or it was like 2 weeks later. And losing hearing for someone where music is the most important thing in your life was just that was the hardest emotionally for sure. And the whole time I was in California, I was like, am I going to be able to play? Am I going to be able to listen to music again? And I got home, and I wasn't even allowed to bend over to pick up the guitar because I had to keep my head upright. But I asked my wife, I was like, can you just put a guitar in my hands just so I can like know I'm going to be able to do this? And I hadn't adjusted with the one ear yet to listening to like a full band or record. It was just too much information. But guitar was like one instrument, one note, one sound. And so I could do that and hear it. And even days I couldn't walk, I could still sit and I could play my guitar. And it gave me, you know, again, I could still advance and practice. And it's something I've been doing since I was like 15 or something. So that got me through a lot of tough times, just playing like music by myself. And then it's, you know, I can listen to music again and records and stuff. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same again, but you know, I still love it. And hopefully soon my buddies and I were going to, you know, we have plans next month to start jamming together again and playing music. And
so exciting.
That'll be my last, I don't want to say my last thing of recovery, but my last kind of like milestone to trying to feel normal again. I went to my first concert last month and it was okay. And that was huge. So yeah, that's that last thing out on the horizon is just playing music with people again. And I since found out there's famous musicians that can only hear out of one ear and stuff, and that's been inspiring. So I figure if they can do it, I can at least try.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's honestly that this has been one of my favorite parts of working with you is getting to like see and hear about all the different milestones, like hearing about you running on the beach and hearing about you like playing with the band again and seeing you do like handstand walking in class. Like that's amazing. Like
with the boxes.
With the boxes, but still like you had a brain tumor and now you're going upside down, like weight bearing through your arms. Like that's amazing.
After we did that, I stood up and put my arms in the air like Rocky, which is like not even in my character to act like that, but I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, so. It's so cool to see. I know, and you haven't said it on the podcast, but I remember also you telling me something you wanted to get back to eventually was surfing. So, I don't think cross that off just yet.
Yeah. I'm leaving that out there for later because I'm nowhere near even attempting that yet. In fact, I need to, like, go get in the pool. And I have some nerve issues and stuff with, like, my eye that's still not fully healed yet, and like I don't know if I can like squeeze my eyes underwater and keep them shut, and there's some things like going on there. But I did get my first run on the beach, and that was a huge milestone. And also like, wow, 20 minutes was hard after I used to do like an hour and a half. So but there's something in me that like it wasn't enough. I don't know. It was a nice milestone to say, like, I did it, like, for sure. And I kind of celebrated a bit in the moment. But it was like, okay, well, that was 20. Now I need to do 30. Now I need to do 40. And they say through these kind of really tough times, you learn a lot about yourself. And one thing I learned is, like, I just fight, discipline, and it's a double-edged sword because nothing ever feels good enough. But that's the kind of thing that just, like, motivates me. And so it was a nice moment to get that run on the beach, and for sure it helped my mood, and it was like, the biggest thing was I felt kind of normal again. Yeah. Like that's, the biggest milestones haven't been that I accomplished something. For me, it was like, oh, I'm starting to feel like a normal person, quote unquote, whatever that is. Like for me, just being like, oh, okay, a little bit of myself just came back. Something that I love just came back, and it's like slowly waking me up over time.
Yeah. Well, and I love what you said about never being satisfied, because that's so true. Because once you get satisfied with something, then you get complacent and then you stop working on it. So I think that's a really good like lesson.
This one of the bands I liked that I still love. They're called Hatebreed, but one of their records is called "Satisfaction Is the Death of Desire." And I think that's really true. I don't know that I've ever been like satisfied in my life.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't desire anything, then what are you going to work for?
I'm satisfied with my wife. I'm satisfied with my cat because I love my cat. Her name is Soxy. Okay. She's a tuxedo cat, and she's the best cat ever. That's satisfying to have them in my life. But everything else is like, I wish I could like chill out sometimes actually, but it's not in my nature. And if it wasn't going to happen during this whole period after surgery, like it's definitely never gonna happen. Like I was trying to get back to work like 6 weeks later, and people are just like, "Are you crazy? You can't even walk." And I'm like, I could do like 15 minutes.
Well, that's good.
But that's just who I am, and I'm cool with it because the only way is forward.
Stay hungry. That's what they say.
Yeah. But spiritually, not physically.
Right. Right. Yes. Well, Damian, this was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And all the lessons that you share, I think, are super helpful, super applicable for a lot of people that are going through a very wide range of problems. So thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Rest Between Sets. And thank you so much, Damian, for sharing your journey. I learned a lot by talking to you, and I've learned a lot by working with you the past several months.